Before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone that all this footage was streamed live on Twitch. Let's begin. Do you like ovals? Do you like smaller ovals inside of larger ovals? Do you like Pokemon? If the answer to any of these is yes, then this is the video for you. Today, we're going to be playing the Amogus Romhack, but we're not just going to be playing the game. If you know me, I like to do stupid challenge runs on these sorts of games. So today's challenge is, can you beat the Amogus Romhack without wanting to die? First, I guess I should explain the Romhack. The Amogus Romhack is a hack of Pokemon Gold, which replaces every Pokemon and trainer with Amogus. It also changes the overworld music to an 8-second loop of the Among Us drip song. Sound bad? It's much worse than you think. A link to the hack can be found in the description. Upon loading into the first town, we get to see what I think is an accurate depiction of hell. As you can see, everyone is indeed Amogus. I have the game audio muted in this video, but here's a sample of what I had to listen to while playing the entire game. Yeah, this challenge is not going to be easy. I choose the blue Amogus as the starter, since the red one is too sus in my opinion, and the green one isn't sus enough. Yes, I did just write that in the script. I name him Amogus due to a channel point redemption and continue on. Fun fact, I have never actually played Generation 1 or 2, so I'm glad my first experience with it is this, since I never plan to go back to this ever again. We have a task to go to Mr. Sussman's house, and since we are indeed doing a task, I guess that means I am in fact not an imposter. What am I even writing at this point? We're not even 5 minutes in? We speak to Mr. Sussman and then return to the previous town to find a guy who has stolen the green Amogus. He's a very suspicious name, so naturally I refer to him as an imposter. What a great script. I'm not going to go over everything that happens in this game, so let's just skip ahead to Sprout Tower, which is filled with green Amogi. We scale to the top and beat the green Amogi leader, and then from there we're allowed into the first gym. This gym uses light purple Amogus, and my blue Amogus is quite strong at this point, so it's not too hard to win. You'll find that this is a common occurrence throughout this entire game. Continue on to the next town, and on my way I catch a few Amogi, such as a green Amogus and a yellow Amogus. On the way, my blue Amogus evolves into a blue Amogus, and I reach Azalea Town. I enter the sus poke well and vote off every imposter in there. I'm only using my blue Amogus at this point, so he's just sweeping everything due to how strong he is. Immediately after, I fight my rival and completely mop the floor with him. Ah shit. Immediately after, I realize why only using the blue Amogus is a bad idea. My rival has a green Amogus, and according to color theory, it's stronger against my blue Amogus. It's here that I decide that using items is not against the rules, since this challenge is already hard enough, and I don't want to call a psychiatrist more times than I have already while playing this. It's also here where I realize I'll need to train a second Amogus so this situation doesn't happen again. I enter the forest and chase the brown Amogus back to his Amogus owner, and realize that I haven't done the gym yet. This gym uses light yellow Amogus, which my blue and newly trained light purple Amogus deal with quite well. If you haven't guessed yet, this is a bug gym and I'm using Pidgey and Croconaw. The level 16 light yellow Amogus proved to be a bit troublesome, but it was nothing I couldn't handle. Now that I have cut, I go through the forest into Goldenrod, which is where a lot of people suffered trauma as a child. I'm also going to suffer a different kind of trauma here, but hey, trauma is trauma I guess. I grab the bike, which has no sprite in this game, so it just looks like you run faster, and then enter the gym. This is a white Amogus gym, which I expected to be much harder considering that this is the gym that kicked everyone's ass as a child. Since I'm no longer a child and instead an advanced Amogus gamer, I'm able to win first try. I use my weaker Amogus as fodder to tank the rollout until it resets, in which I can switch back to my blue Amogus for the kill. I forgot to mention that I'm playing on set mode by the way. Switch mode is for babies. Continuing on, my purple Amogus evolves into a purple Amogus. I notice that water gun adds drip to the enemy Amogus, making them infinitely cooler, and then I obtain the squirt bottle after looking for it for about 20 minutes. I caught the brown Amogus blocking the path and named him Imposter, since he was imitating a tree. You know who imitates things? Imposters. I enter the Ecruteak City Gym, which specializes in dark purple Amogus. These dark purple Amogus are actually ghosts, which tells me that there is an imposter nearby, since who else could make them into ghosts? Yeah, this is the pinnacle of humor. The gym leader wasn't hard at all. My blue Amogus knows Bite, which tears through his team. My blue Amogus evolves into another blue Amogus again after that. I travel to Olivine and scale the lighthouse, where an Amogus tells me that their Amogus has imposter syndrome, and I need to go to Cyanwood to cure it. Realizing I don't have Surf, I head back to Ecruteak to beat up some dancing Amogi and obtain Surf. Instead of going back, I head towards the Lake of Rage, since I know I can get me a shiny Amogus over there. I find and successfully catch the shiny Amogus and then name him Shiny, so I know not to throw him out later. Some red Amogus calling himself Lance tells me to go to the imposter's hideout in the game corner. I'll clear the whole place out without trouble, because at this point, my blue Amogus is unstoppable. I kill all the Amogi powering this weird machine, and then continue on to the gym. Ah yes, a gym that's one giant children's ice puzzle. I spend a good amount of time here since I'm incompetent when it comes to children's ice puzzles. The actual gym leader was quite easy, since my blue Amogus is stupidly strong. He specializes in light blue Amogus, as you could guess from the puzzles, but he uses a brown Amogus near the end, which was weak to Surf. Everything else died to Slash, which has an absurdly high crit rate in this game. I finally head back to Olivine to go down to Cyanwood for the secret potion. There's a gym here that uses orange Amogus. The gym fight was even easier here than it was before. He only has 2 Sussmon, and I didn't even need to use my blue Amogus. My purple Amogus was capable of taking hits on his first Sussmon, but when the blue Amogus came out, my purple one almost died. I switched into my shiny Amogus to finish it off, and just to give him a little bit of screen time. He is quite special. I return to Olivine and cure that Amogus's imposter syndrome, which opens up the gym. This gym uses silver Amogi, which I'm not really equipped to take on. Despite this, my blue Amogus is just that strong. He happily one-shots everything in his path, and I win without even breaking a sweat. Easiest gym so far. I expected this one to actually be the hardest, but here we are. After that, there's the whole radio tower incident of the imposter group, and I really don't feel like covering that. It's very long, it's not interesting, it was quite easy. Every single fight there was just extremely easy, and nothing of importance happened other than the fact that we finally injected the entire imposter organization. After failing a few more children's ice puzzles and some children's rock puzzles, which destroyed my mental even more than this game, I arrived at Blackthorn City, which is home to the final gym. This gym uses dark purple Amogi, which I had Ice Punch on my blue Amogus to deal with. I picked up the Ice Punch TM a while ago from the department store, but I never really mentioned it. Claire has 3 standard dark blue Amogus, which die in a single Ice Punch. Her last Amogus surprises me with a Hyper Beam, but it doesn't even tickle my blue Amogus. Another easy win. After the gym, I go grab the Master Ball to grab a very special team member. Legend has it that there's a very super special, super sus red Amogus at the top of the Tin Tower in Ecruteak City. I suss out this Amogus and then catch him with the Master Ball, making a fine addition to my team. I can really feel the insanity starting to sink in at this point. Luckily, I'm almost done though. It was time for the Elite Four. After a straight sprint through Victory Road, I come across the final fight with our imposter rival. He gets absolutely swept by my blue and red Amogus. The red Amogus was the exact thing I needed to handle his green Amogus, since even at this level I was still scared that it could take down my blue Amogus and I would lose. With the final fight done, he gets ejected from the game and is never seen again. The Elite Four itself wasn't too stressful. In fact, the most stressful part of this game is trying to keep as many brain cells as possible while playing this, with that awful music playing constantly. Compared to that, the Elite Four in any game is nothing. Not even my university exams or my driving tests was as stress-inducing as playing this game. First up was Will, who uses light pink Amogus. My blue Amogus knows Bite, so even though he doesn't one-shot anything and he does take a hit or two, he's just that strong. He's way too strong. At this point, he's just incredibly tanky. He shrugs off every hit he takes and sweeps the enemy team. Easy win. Koga is a master of the purple Amogus. My blue Amogus is unable to one-shot everything, but luck was really on my side here. I managed to hit through things like double team and minimize. My luck with these sorts of things are usually in the negatives, so I guess Lady Luck was really pitying me for having to sit through this atrocity of a game. He sends out a silver Amogus at one point, which to this day I'm still confused on what it was. I really don't know, and I'm not going to look up his team. Bruno was actually the hardest fight in the game up until this point. I forgot to teach my red Amogus Fly, so I wasn't really well equipped for this fight. He sends out a brown Amogus at one point, which ends up confusing me a lot, and I don't mean in-game, I mean my brain just couldn't work out what the hell this thing was. I waste a lot of time trying to kill this thing. My blue Amogus ends up dying near the end, but my red Amogus manages to clutch it even through a heal while just knowing a really bad flying move, Gust. Karen is the Black Amogus trainer, and you better believe that my knowledge on Black Amogus in Generation 2 is near zero. After having to switch out and back in because I got confused, my blue Amogus ends up sweeping her team no problem. I don't need to know what I'm fighting if I'm strong enough to kill everything that comes my way. Lance is the final fight in the league, and I was really well equipped for him. After dealing with his blue Amogus, I thought I'd have a clean sweep against his purple ones. Ice Punch doesn't actually one-shot here, which is very surprising, but I managed to get quite lucky, dodging a Thunder Wave and freezing with Ice Punch. I get hit a few times, but it's simply not enough to bring down my blue Amogus. I end up beating him with just blue. I even taught my red Amogus Fly just in case, but it simply wasn't needed. With that, I became the champion. I have proved I'm the least sus person in existence, and I've lost more brain cells in these past few hours than I've lost over my entire life. But there's still one more fight. I can't declare the challenge beaten until I beat the most sus person in existence. After the credits finish, I enable to walk through Wall's Cheat to be able to go to Mount Silver. There was no way I was doing the entirety of Kanto. It's really easy and it would just waste time, and I can already feel my consciousness fading away, so I need to go fast here. I assembled a team to take on Red, which composed of my blue Amogus, my red Amogus, my shiny Amogus, a yellow Amogus, a brown Amogus, and a dark purple Amogus. I have just said Amogus more times in one sentence Okay. Everything was level 85 since I was remembering Heart Gold Red, not Gold Red, so I was a bit over leveled, but who cares at this point. I ascended Mount Silver, and finally, I saw him. I can make the joke, Red is looking a bit sus. Oh, he isn't that hard. I beat a lot of his team by using the correct color matchups. It's only when that stupid white Amogus came out that I felt my sanity slipping even further than it already had by this point. This stupid thing was crazy tanky. I didn't have any way to deal with it due to this game not having the physical special split, and this one fight probably took up more time than me beating the entire game. I probably skip ahead in the video, but this one Amogus took so long to kill you wouldn't believe. Eventually it goes down and his final Amogus dies easily for the win. With that, I finally beat the Amogus Romhack without wanting to die. My mind may be broken, and I have booked a few therapy sessions for my newly developed PTSD, but I don't feel like offing myself just yet. I can't go a single day without hearing that stupid Among Us drip song in my head, and I can no longer look at the bin in my kitchen the same way, but for what it's worth, I'm alive. I don't recommend anyone play this. This is the sort of thing the CIA used to torture people for intel. This thing's existence is a war crime and a blight to humanity. This is a picture of my brain before I played this game. And this is what it looks like now. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, consider subscribing and leaving a like. The YouTube algorithm really loves that stuff. Also consider coming down to Twitch to say hi. I do stupid runs like this all the time over there. So once again, I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you next time if I'm still sane.